Hi guys, Miss Davis here. I'm back for day 21 of the Anne Frank series today. And I want to pick up where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about Anne and Peter and all of her thoughts about that. And it was a lovely, love-filled day. And that same theme sort of continues on through a lot of the journal entries here today, as well as some others, which I'll get to in a little bit when we get to them. So, without any further ado, let's jump right in. Wednesday, the 23rd of February, 1944. Dear Kitty, it's lovely weather outside, and I've quite perked up since yesterday. Nearly every morning I go to the attic where Peter works to blow the stuffy air out of my lungs. From my favorite spot on the floor, I look up at the blue sky and the bare chestnut tree, on whose branches little raindrops shine, appearing like silver, and at the seagulls and other birds as they glide on the wind. He stood with his head against a thick beam, and I sat down. We breathed the fresh air, looked outside, and both felt that the spell should not be broken by words. We remained like this for a long time, and when we had to go up to the loft to chop wood, I knew that he was a nice fellow. He climbed the ladder and I followed, and then he chopped wood for about a quarter of an hour, during which time we still remained silent. I watched him from where I stood. He was obviously doing his best to show off his strength. But I looked out of the open window too, over a large area of Amsterdam, over all the roofs, and on to the horizon, which was pale blue. It was so hard to see the dividing line. As long as this exists, I thought, and I may live to see it, the sunshine, the cloudless skies, while this lasts, I cannot be unhappy. The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they can be quite alone with the heavens, nature, and God, because only then does one find that all is as it should be, and that God wishes to see people happy amidst the beauty of nature. As long as this exists, and it certainly always will, I know that there will always be comfort for every sorrow, whatever the circumstances may be, and I firmly believe that nature brings solace in all troubles. Oh, who knows, perhaps it won't be long before I can share this overwhelming feeling of bliss with someone who feels the way I do about it. Yours, Anne. And so there is more to this journal entry, but I'm going to pause right there. I want to put myself down a little bit. So this got me thinking. This is a copy of my Facebook page, and I put this challenge up a few days ago. April 5th was when I put it up. It was just something I was thinking about. I went outside and I was having a really great day in the wilderness. It says, here's a challenge for all you people out there who are bored this week. Go on a little adventure in the beautiful countryside we call home. Post the 10 best pictures you took while adventuring. Put them in an order to tell a story and share with all your friends in Facebook land. It's called a photo essay and it's good fun. Here are my 10 best. Let's see yours. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. I went for a walk in the woods with some of my loved ones. I am lucky enough to live in an area where, you know, things are beautiful. And so here are some of the pictures I got. It doesn't show all of them, and if I click off this particular page, you won't be able to see everything. But this is a rock that was completely covered in moss. It was so cool. I really liked this picture because there was moss growing on the sides of the trees and at the bases, and you could sort of see a little pathway through the trees. Oh, it was so beautiful. So that little adventure for me, getting outside and taking a walk in nature and making a little photo essay with my 10 favorite photos of the trip, it really was really good for me to be able to get out of the house to enjoy the sunshine and the birds and the smells of the outdoors. And so Anne Frank is right when she says that the best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they can be quite alone with the heavens, nature, and God. So I know that some people are watching me from far away on the YouTubes, and you're not as lucky as I am. You can't go outside in the lovely nature, but if you are someone who is watching me from close to where I live, you should go outside. Spend as much time outside as you possibly can. I mean, I know you guys are doing online schoolwork and you got some things. Today was rather cold and it snowed a little bit where I live today. But For the most part, if you can go outside, go outside. You'd be shocked and amazed how much better you feel when your your little excursion outside is done. It is proof that there are better days to come. So again, I'll show it to you one more time. Go ahead and take my challenge. Challenge all you people out there who are bored. Go on a little walk. Post pictures of what you find. The 10 best. Make a little story out of it and post it for your friends to see. Okay, I'm going to finish the journal entry. She has a little postscript. It says, a thought. We miss so much here, so very much, and for so long now. I miss too, just as you do. I'm not talking of outward things, for we are looked after in that way. No, I mean the inward things, like you. I long for freedom and fresh air, but I believe now that we have ample compensation for our privatizations. I realized this quite suddenly when I sat in front of the window this morning. I mean, inward compensation. When I looked outside, right into the depth of nature and God, then I was happy, really happy. And Peter, so long as I have that happiness here, with the joy in nature, health, and a lot more besides, all the while one has that, one can always recapture happiness. Riches can all be lost, but that happiness in your own heart can only be veiled, and it will still bring you happiness again as long as you live, as long as you can look fearlessly up into the heavens, as long as you know that you are pure within and that you will still find happiness. This is one of my favorite pages in the entire book. This segment where Anne says, your happiness, regardless of your circumstance, your happiness lies within you. It's inside of you all the time. And all you have to do is be able to look upward and feel the connection between you and the rest of the world. And you can find happiness. It doesn't live someplace else. It doesn't live in another person. It doesn't live in things. It doesn't live in experiences. It doesn't live in any kind of outward thing. It lives inside of you. And you just have to be still and quiet. It helps to commune with nature. It really does. And know that you are loved and your life has purpose, and your happiness, it's right here. My favorite journal entry in a very, very long time. Okay, so those are my musings on that. Next journal entry is Sunday, the 27th of February, 1944. Dearest Kitty, from early in the morning till late at night, I really do hardly anything else but think of Peter. I sleep with his image before my eyes, dream about him, and he is still looking at me when I awake. I have a strong feeling that Peter and I are really not so different as we would appear to be, but I will tell you why. We both lack a mother. He's too superficial, loves flirting. His is too superficial, loves flirting, and doesn't trouble much about what he thinks. Mine does bother about me, but lacks sensitiveness, real motherliness. Peter and I both wrestle with our inner feelings. We are still uncertain, and we are really too sensitive to be roughly treated. If we are, then my reaction is to get away from it all. But as that's impossible, I hide my feelings, throw my weight about the place, am noisy and boisterous, so that everyone wishes that I was out of the way. He, on the contrary, shuts himself up, hardly talks at all, is quiet, daydreams, and in this way carefully conceals his true self. But how and when will we finally reach each other? I don't know quite how long my common sense will keep this longing under control. Yours, Anne. Oh, I'm just going to keep going because the next journal entry kind of goes in with that too, and once again only reinforces some of the things we've already been noticing. Monday, 28th of February 1944. Dearest Kitty, it's becoming a bad dream, in daytime as well as at night. I see him nearly all the time and can't get at him. I mustn't show anything, must remain gay while I'm really in despair. Peter Wessel and Peter Van Dan have grown into one Peter, who is beloved and good and for whom I long desperately. Mummy is tiresome. Daddy is sweet and therefore all the more tiresome. Margot is the most tiresome because she expects me to wear a pleasant expression and all I want to do is be left in peace. Peter didn't come to me in the attic. He went up to the loft instead and did some carpentry. At every creak and every knock, some of my courage seemed to seep away and I grew more unhappy. In the distance, a bell was playing. Pure in body, pure in soul. The bells in old clock towers, they play tunes. So that was the name of the tune the clock was playing. I'm sentimental, I know. I'm desperate and silly, I know that too. Oh, help me. Yours, Anne. So, Anne is, again, I guess acknowledging the fact that she is, as she said yesterday, I'm not in love. Don't say that I am. I'm not in love. But she does acknowledge that she is desperately longing for some sort of connection with Peter. And in her mind now, it's Peter Vessel and Peter Van Daan have kind of merged into the same person and kind of pinning all her hopes on that one. And again, how that kind of keeps her going and keeps her driven. Some days it makes her happy, some days it makes her sad, but um, that's the nature of love, and that's why getting out into nature is so important. So I know it's shorter than what I usually do, but I don't want to get into the next set of journal entries yet. There's a different theme to be discussed, and I'll save that for a different day. So with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I will post the questions as I usually do in the comments. And I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. Bye.